No, I don't want a piece of candy at yours. It was the same handkerchief. I put my eye on it. Or be in everybody's purse. And I used to always wonder why they was always eating candy anyways.
What are you waiting for? Do you have a list? Have you started? Do we have any direction? But I would love for you to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. What? Hit that notification bell. What? Hit that notification bell. And come cheese with me. Hey guys, it's me, Cheezin Dreams. Hello, fellow cheesers.
Because I will watch that little lady, first of all. Yep. I will watch. Hey, Cheezin. Hey, Ma. Hey, Dreamers. Hey, Chica. Hey, everybody. It's me, Cheezin Dreams, and I'm back for another video. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. You know what I was thinking? Why do people have all these funny sayings and phrases? Who started? Where did it come from? Like, I went to Louisiana, and every time they finished saying something or every other sentence, they would say, like talking about. Like talking about? Like talking about what? Okay, let me give you an example. You know, we was going to the store and then we went up the hill, like talking about. Is that a question? Is that a phrase? If you are from Louisiana, please comment down below and help me, help you, help we understand what does like talking about mean. Here's another one. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay, think about that. I'm talking to you. Are you confirming that I know, that you know, that we know what you're talking about? Or are you trying to get clarity as to what the conversation is about? Are you trying to see if I am with you? Are we together? Are we on the same page? There's another saying that my mother used to say. Just keep on living. Just keep on living. Well, what's my other option? To not? So just keep on living. And so she would explain it sometime. And this was when she would get really irritated, or you can tell that she thought we were being smarty pants. And so we would be, why is this? Why is that? Why not this? Why not that? And when she would get tired or she didn't want to hear it no more, she'd say, just keep on living. You just keep on living. What are my options? Do you want me to not? I mean, where did that come from? And you know what? You know, it's another thing that happens. What about when we're in church? This is another good one. And these are several good ones. You're in church and someone is up and they're doing a message, inspirational message, or they're preaching. I know a lot of times they'll be, amen, amen. And amen is supposed to be like, we agree, we're on the same page. Okay, amen a few times here and there. But after every sentence, are you amening because you need some oxygen? Are you amening because you lost your train of thought? This is one that I do a lot. Like, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say, so we're going to up the street and, or, you know, it's like, you know, like when I hear myself saying like, and I don't want to say like, I can hear myself saying, I don't want to say, or so. I just want to talk. I want to talk without using those words. What are some of the words the stuff that you say, or we'd say, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like talking about, trying to think of some other ones. But where does it come from? some people say they're filler words. Is it what we do to give our brain a time to process what we're going to say next, or to get everything lined up so when you get ready to say it? I don't know, but I noticed in different languages, cultures, people might say, really? For real? Oh, is that so? Oh, yeah? What? You sure? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. So I was just thinking, I was trying to figure out, where do we get all these phrases and saying? Somebody I know used to say, oh, buku danky. Oh, she buku danky. Oh, you shot out. You shot out. You tripping. You buku danky. I gather it was like you messed up in the head, you crazy, you don't know what you're talking about, you all spun out, you tripping. We have all this stuff that we have incorporated into English language. There's a lot of different languages where, as if you don't speak the language, or even if you speak the language, the dialect is different, or if you're not from that area, you don't really know what they're talking about. So what's some of the stuff that you say? I notice now, with the YouTube world out there, that kids pick up on all of this stuff. I hear 5 and 6 year olds saying, he literally came up the stairs and he literally knocked on my door, and then they literally got in my bed. As if opposed to if you don't put the literally in there. And they even know how to use it, where it goes, and when they're expressing themselves. And I think a lot of that is from social media, where these kids are on here. And have you guys watched a lot of these YouTube channels as far as the kids and their parents, and they're doing things on the channel? I tell you, some of the stuff that these kids are doing with their parents' permissions, because they're skits and they're doing it for entertainment purposes. But one thing about it is, your kids end up getting toe up. That's another word, toe up. Spanking, whooping, beating, whatever you want to call it. Don't come for me. Your kids end up getting toe up from that little smart little girl on YouTube. She watching YouTube, or he watching YouTube, and he hear these kids popping off on their parents and saying this and saying that. And they forget that this is not YouTube. This is your house. Have you ever caught them saying something, and they have caught themselves saying something, and before you know it, they have said it, and it's too late? It's too late, and you just hope and pray that you're kind of parent who understands where they could have got that from. And you have to give them a little warning. Hey, what they do on YouTube, what that little kid and what that little boy, what the little girl and their parents allow them to say and do, that's not real. The real life is when you say you try that, and then you have to deal with the real repercussions. You have consequences. Everybody know you have actions, you have consequences. So whatever happened to that little girl or the little boy, or did not happen on YouTube, that's not going to be your world, ma'am, sir, miss, little one. That's not going to be your world, because I'm not from YouTube. That's not where I grew up. I didn't grow up on YouTube. I grew up on the corner. On the corner where when little kids act up, you realize where you at. There was no YouTube. There was no YouTube. None of that was happening. So can you guys think of some of the stuff that you might have did or said as a kid to your parents? What about some of the stuff like, oh, y'all better stay out of grown folks' business. You ain't gonna be in no grown folks' business. We heard stuff like that. You be in trouble if them grown-ups are talking and they look around and realize that you not only in the room, but you are actually paying attention to what they talk about. The whole conversation is over. What about is, oh, I'm gonna give you something to cry about. Oh, you just You already gave. You want to cry? You want to cry? I'm gonna give you something to cry about. It's like, but my feelings, my heart, my eyes is watering. I feel emotional. How do I stop my brain and my body in the tears that's already formulating? How do I not cry? Because I don't want something to cry about. I'm already tearing up. So obviously I have already have something to cry about. I don't understand. What about the saying, oh, you're going to have to learn to crawl before you walk? Duh. Ain't that's what babies do? And I'm not a baby. What do me crawling and walking and I'm going to have to learn how to crawl before I walk? I've already learned how to crawl when I was little. I was a baby. But they would say, oh, you're going to have to learn to crawl before you walk. It's like, and you understood it. You didn't have a choice. Either you're going to get it or you not. But you understood what they were saying. And you would say, well, why don't you just say what you're trying to say? But no. No, what about, oh, you going to learn today? Do I have a choice? As opposed to next week? Today, do I have like an option of tomorrow? Oh, you going to learn today. Oh, you stay in a child's place. You better stay in a child's place. That's what you better do. I guess you done really got out of line. If you need to stay in a child's place, I think you this close. You about this close. What are some of the other things that your parents would say, or just people that you grew up with, or even now? What about the old, what, another thing that, not just a saying, but some of the things that kind of just bring back to memory. What about the little old lady or little older lady or older lady? What in their mind? Why do they always want to get kids candy? Is it because they just think kids are so sweet? And another thing I wonder about little old ladies or ladies period when I was a little girl. I often wonder because a lot of those times they would have different ailments. You just knew that they had different ailments. And I used to always wonder why they was always eating candy anyways. This is some silly stuff. Why did old women and maybe old men too, they like to keep a peppermint? I don't like that either. I don't like men reaching down in their pockets giving little kids peppermints that's been down in their pocket. Something just not sanitary about it. My daddy was extremely funny acting about anybody. But I think my dad made me feel, he used to always have these scenarios in his head where he always talking about watch men, and my daddy was always somewhere, watching, or he always would be at home going over scenes, or just, if you say the wrong thing, or he even think you going down the wrong path, all he was saying, I know what I do. I know what I'm going to do. I keep my money in my pocket. That was a threat because my dad was the only one that worked in the house. So any income pretty much came from my dad and his money in his pocket and his wallet. So if he wanted us to act right, that was the first thing he would say. I know what I do. I keep my money in my pocket. But let's get back to this peppermint and this candy. Do the old ladies, or whoever they are, the older ladies, you know who I'm talking about. Y'all know the ladies who kept the candy in the bottom of their purse. And couldn't it be like a little pouch or something that they kept the candy in? Why? I used to just always be looking at people because I think I never really wanted to get into it. Sometimes I would try to be a sweet little girl when I was younger, and I would always think things through, and stuff would hit my mind, and I would process things, and it would be detailed. I would process in my head when I used to see the lady digging down her purse and I knew she was going to offer me a piece of candy, and I would take it, sometime. Then I would have to think in my head if I'm examining it. And then I would say to myself, I'm not going to sit near this lady anymore because I don't want her to give me the candy. Now, why didn't I want her to give me the candy? Now, you would think most little kids would love a piece of candy, right? Especially if you could eat it in church and sneak and eat it. Not me. No, not me. When you see all these old sayings and this stuff just coming up, I didn't want the candy. And okay, you want to know why. Just say why. Why are you sitting up worried about the little old lady and her candy? Okay, I'll tell you why. You want to know why? Because I will watch that little lady, first of all. Yep. I will watch it because we in church and it's, I'm in church. What else is there for me to do but be involved in the service or be in everybody's purse? Okay, let's get back to this purse. Okay, so this lady, I have one in my head right now. God rest her soul, sweet woman. I have her picture her and the way she conducted herself in church right now. So let's go down. We talk about old sayings and things that were done. Let's talk about this. Okay. So this lady had one of them handkerchiefs. No, not a tissue, not a Kleenex where you take a little Kleenex out of your purse and do what you're going to do. She had a handkerchief in her purse. So every time she needed to blow her nose or wipe her mouth or whatever she needed to do during the service, okay? That's another saying people say, okay, right, okay? You hear what I'm saying? Know what I'm talking about? Here you go. You listen. While I'm talking, you go hear several. So there's another one. So I will watch this lady through the service. I will watch her, yep, because I know what's going on. I know what's going on in this purse, okay? We didn't have cell phones, so whatever you kept in your purse, it was your right. So back to this handkerchief. So she would blow her nose. It was the same handkerchief. I put my eye on it. It's okay. In and out the purse is this handkerchief, doing whatever the handkerchief was supposed to do. Okay, that's her business. She touching herself, her nose, her body, her purse. Then you done got you a few little pieces of candy out the purse. Now, I don't even think you should be eating all this candy, but that's you. Fine. Go ahead. This is still your area in church, okay? So then you decide, I'm a little kid or it's a little kid nearby. Now you want to share the candy. First of all, we're not supposed to be eating candy in church. But since you're giving it away, it's fine. My parents will be fine with it. Now, in this purse, it's not only candy. It's this handkerchief that I've already discussed what then went on with the handkerchief. Okay? I know. Don't try to explain to me, oh, don't think like that. I'm a kid. Imagine me as a child. These are the things that went on with my life. And still to this day, I'm extremely analytical. But imagine being a little kid and I end up sitting near this lady and I've already evaluated her conduct during the church. I've already watched her numerous times. And at times I've decided I don't want to sit by her. It just so happens sometimes it's where I had to sit. So I already know what's going to be going on with this purse. There was other things that happened sitting next to her that I don't want to talk about, but it was a number of things that led me to my decision to no, I don't want a piece of candy out your purse. No, I don't want a piece of candy out of your purse. No, thank you. But that's not how we were taught to do. You were taught to say thank you, be nice and sweet. But let's get back to this purse. So let's park the handkerchief that we know what's going on with that. Now you got loose coins and change, and you have candy that's then came out the wrapper, little dirt balls from this purse because the person probably opened up at the bottom when it did open up the thread and came out. You dig it in the bottom, and when you pull the candy out the bottom of your purse, up comes little lint balls, loose change, beat up candy wrappers, sometimes other things that we don't want to mention. And then in your hand, out of all these remnants that's in your hand, lies the piece of candy that you gonna offer me. Wrapped or unwrapped, ma'am. I honestly, as a kid, as a child, I knew there was no way. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I can't process all that is happening in this purse. Because not only are you going to give me this candy with the wrapper on it, that's fine. You sitting right there. I don't want it. I don't want it. And now I'm trying to figure out, why do you carry this candy? What is it for? What is the candy for? What is the purpose of you sitting up in church and eating a whole bag of candy? I can't. That's another one. I can't. Or what? You gotta be kidding me. That was my answer, my mom. They be knee deep in a conversation. That's another one, knee deep. That means we in there. Like, that means that the conversation is smoking. Like, we can't just turn around and stop. We in the middle of it. So they be knee deep in a conversation. And my mom was kind of more of the quieter side out of her siblings. But, she would sometimes get in there and she would be chuckling underneath and saying the words here and there. But one thing my mom would say when she finally had at her breaking point of the conversation and it got real good, she'd say, "You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me." And then she would call one of her sister's names. And it don't even matter because half the time they calling each other the other one name. And you know how that go when you mix up the names, or maybe not. Maybe you haven't reached that age yet. But they're talking to each other and you gotta be kidding me. No, shut your mouth. That's another one. Shut your mouth. Or they say, no. But that really means keep talking. Are you telling the truth? Oh, here's another one. What you talking about? What you talking about? What I'm talking about is what I'm talking about, but that's another one. Or what you say? What you say? What you say about that? Just all this stuff, but yeah, so this is some of the things that has gone on in the past, and a lot of these sayings have been passed on from generation to generation. I'm sure I have not even scratched the surface. All kind of sayings. What happens is when you sit and reflect, and sometimes you don't even know you're going to be thinking about this stuff. Sometimes your mind just takes you to different places, especially if you're reflecting and you're just either self-reflecting or you're reflecting on the past, or a smell or something might happen that'll have you thinking about things. And a lot of times, if you just allow yourself to just be free, you'll find excitement, you'll find pleasure, you'll find happiness, you'll find peace, because it's a place of comfort. And a lot of times when people are talking, the conversations are just great. And take some time to get with some of your family members or some of your kids or just with yourself and think about some of the things that you have said or your parents have said, possibly grandparents, and uncles, even little kids. Little kids will come up with the funniest saying. I think when my daughter was little, or someone, I can't remember, but they would say, they came up and said one day, "But who told us?" I guess we were all figuring out and we were doing this, we were doing that, and maybe they came in on the middle of things and they were trying to understand why we were doing it or something. And I think one of my girls was smaller at the time, and they were trying to understand, you know, how did we get to this point, or how do we decide we're doing this? And they said, but who told us? Who told us? And what they were trying to do is they were trying to catch up. They were trying to catch up to, why were we doing this and now we're doing all this? You know, did something happen? Did I miss a part? So that was another funny saying. Do you have any funny things or different things that may have happened to you as a child, or that happens now? Sometimes you'll have a friend or an uncle or a parent or a loved one, and they'll do or say some of the funniest thing, and you can find yourself just laughing so hard. And it's okay to laugh, because God knows that we're going to cry at some point. But it's just nice to just enjoy yourself and laugh. So if you liked what you've seen thus far, and even if you don't, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell. What? Hit that notification bell. What? Hit that notification bell. And come cheese with me. Bye, Ma.